Welcome to Tenacious Entrepreneurs, where perseverance meets purpose and every setback is just another step forward. Join us as we dive into the journeys of entrepreneurs who faced failures, embraced change, and emerged stronger than ever. Whether you're dreaming big or already on your way, this podcast is here to remind you that the end is only the beginning. Stay inspired, stay tenacious, and let's conquer the entrepreneurial world together.
Hey, it's Joseph Dupont. Welcome back to Tenacious Entrepreneur podcast. For today, we're going to be blessed with a friend of mine, Tommy Ashley's coming in and going to tell us a little bit about his life. And Tommy, thanks so much for coming on the set, man.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, brother, we just got to know each other a little bit better in the last, I think, 6 months or so, huh?
Roughly, yep.
But we've been around each other for a while. But we didn't know each other that well. But man, it's good to have you on the show. What do you do now? Like, what's your business like?
My primary.
It's a loaded question for you,
it is. I've been in the buying and reselling business for well over 20 years. And eventually, I have that business that I made official a few years ago. I have a pressure washing, soft washing company.
So buying and selling business, like you buy like
any automobiles, motorhomes, campers.
And that's how we originally met. Like I met you on Facebook, I think.
Something like that, yeah. Something along those lines. And memorabilia. I've been multi-passionate about buying a lot. Some folks might just want to buy cars and sell cars, but me, I might buy trinkets one day, and then the next day it might be a bulldozer, and I've always, buying and selling and trading has always been my thing, because I can turn that one item that somebody might not have the money for, I can turn around and trade it for something that I can get a whole bunch of people to buy. So it never stops, or there's always a transaction to be
sort of like
made
the Barter
somewhere.
Kings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you watch that show?
I've watched it a couple of times.
Yeah, I watch every series of it.
Yep.
I love seeing it. So anyway, so you got the flipping.
T3 Holdings LLC.
And that's where you flip stuff. And, and then you got party rentals business.
So the money that came from T3 Holdings, I was able to buy. My second business was Pro Wash 360, which was the pressure washing and soft washing. And then came along, brought a business partner in, and a guy that I had met at a restaurant one day. I talked to him and his wife. They had just started this rental business, party rentals, tents, tables, and chairs, backyard party tent rentals. So I told him, look, whenever you get ready, if you ever want to get out of the business, I'll buy it from you. So we talked, and I stayed in touch with him, and we kept running into each other. And 3 years later, we made a deal. Brought in one of my best friends, Chef Mike from Midland, Texas. Mm-hmm. Brought him in because I know every bad thing about him. He knows every bad thing about me, and that's what made me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why I was okay with having a business partner. And he backed us on the money, and I made him a 50-50 partner. And that was in January, and then started a fireworks stand in July. So that's something completely different.
And then I think you just recently acquired like a pressure washing company, huh?
Oh,
or no, you had
Pro
that
Wash.
already.
That was 4 years ago.
Okay, so you had Pro Wash.
I was going to acquire an inflatable business.
Okay,
I decided
business.
to back out of that because I didn't think the time was right.
Okay.
And I didn't think the money was right, so I backed out of it.
So buying and selling, it sounds like that you and I have a lot in common. Like
100%.
I've got 6 or 7 businesses and counting. I remember sitting down with my wife. I sit down every year at the beginning of the year, and we sort of evaluate everything. And it's tough, man. Like running so many different industries, and unless you're running the same crew.
Yep.
It's just hard because I understand. I get
it's hard finding multi-passionate people. Some folks just want to do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
They want to schedule. They want to know how much they're getting paid. I never have known how much I was going to get paid ever. I just had to get to a point to where, okay, I'm just going to do this and just keep going with it.
Yeah.
And then, when I have folks, there's folks that I have that, that come work for me from time to time. They know, look, this is the minimum that you're going to get, but everybody always knows they're going to get more because I don't want to overpromise anybody. And I learned that much earlier in life, dabbling into business, because all you're going to do is just you're going to let people down. Yeah,
you overpromise and
right.
underdeliver. You constantly get down. I found like with me, a lot of times what I do is at least my key guys, I give them like a percentage of what we make. And that way they understand that, hey, look, you're going to be able to pay your bills. So I guarantee you this, but it's based on this.
Right.
And then, if the water rises, all ships rise at the same time. We're all going to be blessed, and I may be blessed a little more, and my ship might look a little better because I got more at risk. I'm the one that built the shipyard.
That's right.
But it's okay. And so, I think that's tremendous. It's funny. So my mom just went through the West Nile virus.
Yep. I've been keeping up with it.
Yeah. So she went through the West Nile virus June 13th. Friday the 13th, she went in the hospital and lost all motor skills and lost, all ability to talk and didn't know who I was. I went from vibrant. She was my go-to lady. I'd call her and tell her, Mom, I'm going to be in Shreveport at 6:00 in the morning tomorrow morning. Can you come pick me up? And brother, she would be there at 4:50. She'd be there sitting there waiting on me. An hour and 10 minutes before, and just never. Anytime I went to the airport, saying she was just like my ride or die kind of with me. And then to go to the point where she didn't know my name, like dude. But I remember, so I was thinking having a person that steps into my world. I had to hire 24-hour sitters and stuff like that to come in and sit with her when I wasn't there, and I stayed with her and stuff. And one of the sitters that I hired, Mom's starting to get better, and so she's getting to the point now where she's able to do a little bit of cooking on her own, and she's functioning, and she can walk a little better now, and so we started cutting the hours back. And one of the ladies that was sitting with her said, so, I mean, you have other businesses. Is there something else I can do? And so she's out right now while we're talking, driving one of my TV trucks.
Oh, that's awesome. See,
I'm just saying, I get it. Like that, you have to find, what I tell people all the time is I'm looking always for faithful people.
Yeah.
Faithful, available, and teachable. That's fat.
Yeah.
Just fat people, faithful, available, and teachable. And dude, she might be answering the firewood guy's phone in the next, 30 days and dispatching stuff, and then we'll flip her over to. But if she's faithful, and she's available, I can teach her if she's teachable.
Right.
And so the same thing with you, man. You just had to find teachable people, man, that you can invest in and get into being a part of your life. And I met a lot of the guys at the Crawfish Bowl. That you have in your circle.
Yeah. That I already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard, man, to find those guys though.
Yeah, it is.
It's really like a needle in a haystack, because you got to kiss a bunch of frogs to find a prince.
You do.
For sure. So I want to go back to whenever you first grew up. Where'd you grow up at? You grew up out in Baton Rouge, or?
I grew up on Acord Road in Denham Springs.
Okay.
And my grandfather.
A Livingston boy.
Yep.
Right.
My grandfather lived out, and my dad lived out on the river, the Amiot River, and they got tired of getting flooded. So my grandpa bought a big piece of land, put a trailer. Him and my grandmother worked for Gulf States. So did my dad. They worked there for a very long time. My dad got laid off when Energy acquired GSU, Gulf States. And me and my brother and my dad, it was for
your older brother or younger?
Younger brother.
Okay, so he's 5 years younger? Or?
We're a year and a half apart. His name's Wes.
So you're pretty close. Okay, close to age.
Yep. And stepmom, stepsisters came in the picture probably when I was 8. We moved into the house down the street that my grandfather also owned. My dad, they bought that house, and the rest is kind of history there. Blended family, and you get a mix of some stuff that you just wasn't expecting.
That's I know it's tough. So my mom and dad, my dad passed 4 years ago, but my dad passed, and they've been married 58 years. So I I remember one day talking to my mom about they were arguing or something like that. And I was crying in the back seat, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "Are you guys going to divorce? Like everybody's divorced. I know all their friends are, you know." So like that, I thank God somehow they managed to make it through, you know, without it. But man, going through it.
Yeah.
You were 8. You said whenever they divorced.
4.
4. Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't remember it. Like you really.
Oh, I do.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I that's hard to believe you'd remember stuff at 4, but I guess that's
I actually have memories of things when I was much younger, and because I explained things that was in my grandfather's, in my grandmother's mobile home. I'm like, yeah, remember this bucket that used to sit by the wall, and Papa used to pick us up in it and swing us inside the little, the metal bucket. And I would talk about things like that. You remember that?
You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's crazy, man.
I'm guessing I can probably remember as early as 2. If I'm, I don't want to stretch it too far, but I would say I could, credit myself for remembering.
I was going to say, man, was
back.
it crowded in that womb? I mean, no.
It was. I don't know.
You don't remember that far back, but,
but at least I think I do. I believe I do because I can.
You recall little bits and tidbits.
Little bitty snippets.
So what was your first memory of actually like, hey, mom and dad are going to not be together?
Fighting.
Oh, yeah.
Fighting, arguing, typical, whenever things go sour.
But I'm saying like the day you woke up and, okay, mom's in a different house and dad's in a different house. Do you remember that? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
4.
I remember when my mom moved out. I remember, seeing her on weekends and stuff like that. And it went on for, several years. And then that's when my stepmom finally came into the picture.
Yeah. And so you got a blended family.
Yeah.
So I went through a divorce, and my kids, unfortunately, had to go through a blended family. And that's like so freaking hard, man, to mold the two, because
it is.
It's, their mom was Susie Homemaker, homeschooled, made her own butter and milk, and and then when we went through a divorce, the next mom was a business lady.
Yep.
And she was like, "Hey, what time are we ordering pizza?" Like, and they were like, "Pizza? we're not making it from scratch, like with the goat cheese. Like, no, we're not slaughtering the calf, and mom's not in the back cleaning the cow so we can eat." It was a different world, man. Like stepping into another whole world. But so where'd you go to school at? You went to?
I went to Walker almost my whole life, and then I wasn't allowed to attend Livingston Parish schools anymore, so I had to go to Santa Ma.
Wait. Weren't allowed by who? That's a high bar, man, to get kicked out of Livingston Parish schools.
I did. True story. I can't remember if I was forced out or the last time I got expelled.
I want to make sure I have this for the record.
Yeah.
You remember when you were 4.
Yeah.
But you don't remember how you got forced out of school at 14.
It was either expulsion and they didn't allow me to come back.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Or when I tried to go back to school the next year, principal, Mr. Tate, we went to go talk to him in the office, and they wouldn't allow me to come back. So I had to move in with my mom.
Okay.
Got emancipated, moved in with my mom.
At what age? Like 14, 15?
I was 17, I think.
Okay, 17. All right.
And we're talking 10th grade.
Okay.
We're talking 18.
18.
So when I wasn't allowed to go back, I had to go to Santa Ma for my last run at school to see if I can, make this work. And I wasn't having it. So I was 18 in the 10th grade when I dropped out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a tough road, man. I went to military school at 15, and at 15 years old, I found out right quick that military school was like a step right before juvenile detention, like before prison. It was a bunch of bad dudes, but I ended up the same way. Like I skipped when I came back to school. When I actually gave my life to the Lord, and I had a revelation, like a complete turnaround at 15 years old. 14 is when I went to military school. 15, I went back to school. But I missed a year because military school didn't count, even though it was school, and I went through all of the classes, and I did everything in Mississippi.
Right.
It didn't count from our grades.
Right.
So I was like, 17, 18, getting out of school. Like I was 18, I think, when I was finally at that point.
Yeah.
I graduated from Redemptress.
Okay.
I went to Central High School, but every year I went to summer school because I failed every year. So I wasn't very far from you, bro.
You was barely keeping your head.
I was hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit, man. I remember one year I got 6 F's and a D, and I was like, dang, I can't believe I'd missed that one place I didn't get a D. It was PE.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, I think I got held back or I failed twice. I was expelled 3 times. 9th grade.
For fighting, for drugs, for
everything. Everything. If you name it, yes. I stayed in trouble. I was a very troubled child. I had no respect for anybody telling me that I needed to sit here, I needed to sit there. It was basically, I kind of felt like it was, now if I was to go
back and look at it,
day job, it would feel like that because I'd have to do the same thing over and over again. And I liked to expand and do different things.
So you were ADD before they
very much
really had
very
ADD solution.
I counted 30-something suspensions before I got out of high school in my dad's filing cabinet because I was curious. 30-something suspensions, and who knows how many referrals. I mean, you got to get 3 referrals to get sent to the office, and I think on number 4 you get suspended.
Yeah. So we had TOR when I was a kid.
TOR.
Timeout room. They did that and they still do it to this day. Like they have it in schools now, like timeout room, TOR.
Yeah.
I was in TOR so much that I had my own desk. Mm-hmm. Like they knew at least once a month I was going to be in timeout room. Timeout room was like where you were separated from the rest of the people. You were in school suspension basically.
Yep.
Like the Breakfast Club. I was in school suspension. But yeah, I get it, man. Like that's the reason why whenever I gave my life to the Lord, it was such a revolutionary thing for the principal because I was the kid. I was the one that was always fighting, always. I mean, the drop of a hat, dude. I mean, somebody look at me sideways. It was, it was.
That's right.
It was just, time. And I always did things to the extreme. Other kids would say, "Hey, let's skip school." I'd get 100 kids to skip school with me, and we'd go have a party at my house. Like, I mean, I was just always that guy. Like, it was just I could pull the crowd together to do something stupid. I remember in military school, I caused an epidemic to shut the whole school down.
Really?
I figured out if you took a penny and put it under your tongue whenever they put the thermometer in your mouth, the copper raised the temperature by 3 degrees. They said that we had an epidemic in military school. They sent us all home for like a week.
That'd be what, 101?
Yeah, it was 101. Everybody had 101 fever. I got everybody to do it, man.
That's
so
hilarious.
I get it, man. Like I was the instigator, man. I was always like putting something together. So you were too. I mean, like
I wasn't really the prankster type. It was I mouthed off to the teachers. I stole from my teachers. I put tacks in their chairs. I brought knives to school. I wouldn't necessarily say I would pick on other kids. I had a smart mouth, and I would say things to other kids, and then I got my butt handed to me in 3rd grade, and I kind of quit messing with. I was more of a protector type. If I saw somebody getting picked on, I'd come unglued. So that was another type of trouble I'd get into.
Yeah. So you're now you're 17, and you're going to a new school.
Yes.
Which that couldn't have gone great.
Yeah.
Being 17 years old, rolling into the 10th grade with a bunch of 15-year-olds.
18 rolling into the 10th grade.
8th grade. I'm saying 10th grade at 18.
Yep.
You're rolling in there with a bunch of 16-year-olds.
Yep.
And so that couldn't have gone too well, right?
It went. I mean, for the girls, yes, the girls liked the older guy, so I mean, I already had that advantage. I guess I wasn't that bad looking, because I had a few girlfriends in that short 3 months that I was there at Santa Mall, and after that, I reached out to my counselor, Miss Lauren Kern from the Livingston Parish School Board, and I asked her if there was a program I could get into. She told me about the Youth Challenge program, but I was already too old for that, and then she told me about Job Corps, and then off to Texas I go.
So you went to Job Corps at 18.
Yep.
So you didn't last but a couple of months, I guess.
No, I didn't last. I mean, it was.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't imagine that it was.
I made single-digit Fs for that was my thing. I might as well just keep them down there and go all in. Put my head down on the desk and sleep through class, let the bell ring, and I quit caring. I really did.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to start over, and I started over one time in school. Miss Arbor, 8th grade pre-algebra. When I tell you I had single-digit Fs, I had single digits all the way down the board, even in PE. Well, she was supposed to be the mean teacher. She let me sit in her class through most of the school, end of the school year, to help me get to the 9th grade. And sure enough, I got most improved student and went to the 9th grade because of her, because she let me in, and she was
having amazing teachers like that's like having
absolutely.
somebody that believes in you and somebody that actually
She did. She really did.
Yeah, somebody that actually took care of you. It's something, man. But so you went to Job Corps in Texas, and then you
2 years.
You for 2 years.
Yep.
And they just taught you a skill, basically.
Got my GED. I went to class for network printing on these big monster 100-year-old printing machines, as if I was going to go work at a Kinko's or a FedEx or something like that.
So was it like an actual printing press? Or?
Oh yeah, it was a printing press.
So I did that whenever I was 19.
Really?
I went to work at Baton Rouge General.
Okay.
And I remember Mark. I don't remember his last name, but Mark was a boss there, and I went there. I was just fresh out of just out of college. I had just gotten married. I was like 19 or 20 years old, and I went over there and I applied for a job as a bindery assistant, making $12 an hour. And I was like, he finally, he's interviewed me. He realized I had never worked at a print shop. And he said, "Son, what do you actually have experience in a print shop?" And I said, "I'll tell you the truth, Mr. Mark. I don't even know what a bindery is, but I'll tell you, I'll assist the hell out of it. If you just give me a job for $12 an hour, I'll do whatever you want me to do." He started laughing, and he was like, "You're hired, man." He's like, "If nothing else, you'll keep me laughing." So I ended up going there, and within 3 months, I moved up to work in a Heidelberg printing press, a 2-color, and then I went to a 4-color.
Yeah, that's the same things we were using. There were probably half a dozen or a dozen of those machines in there.
Yeah. Most people don't even know what those are. But
I never mastered. All the other students did, but I never mastered getting successfully printing something out and it coming out right. I never even. I think I dropped out of it and went to another trade, something like that. But
I ended up almost getting fired from that job.
Really?
And the reason why is because I remember he called me in the office and he said, "Look," he said, "Joe, we got a problem, man." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Man, we're all stressed and we're freaking out and everybody's cursing and throwing paper and slinging and you're over there whistling and singing songs and running your printing press. Like, Larry, you don't have a care in the world." And I said, "Mr. Mark," I said, "Am I getting the work done?" And he said, "Well, what?" And he went through the sheets and he said, "You're actually faster than anybody else we have here. You get more work done than they do." And I said, "Well, so the problem is I'm not cursing and screaming and hollering and I'm just happy?" And he said, he literally stopped the meeting and called everybody else in and said, "Guys, Joey is now in charge of making sure that you guys run the."
Yes, indeed.
When we have a stressful thing happening, Joey's going to be. But that sort of like was my personality, is that like things didn't like pressure me. I just performed.
Right.
And I would raise my performance.
Yep.
But I always looked like I was just having a good time.
Yep.
And so it was different. But running the printing press, man, is a very hard thing to do. I can guarantee you that, man. I went through a lot of paper before I figured it out. But, so you went on to a different trade and you graduated.
Network cabling. I got my GED there. They actually pay you to be there.
Okay.
There's 3 meals a day. It was a co-ed campus. There's probably 1,500 folks there.
So it's like going to college, basically.
Pretty much, and it's like a sub military type environment. You know, you got uniforms. You buckle your shirt. You tuck it in. You got to do your bed sheets a certain way. You get up at 5 o'clock. There's dorm leaders. There's there's your screw toothbrushes on the baseboards and dust. These are old buildings.
So you basically went to military school. That's the same thing I went through. Yeah, like military school. So I figured out real quick I didn't want to be in the military after military school. All my buddies went to West Point from there. It was a prep school for West Point. Okay. And they all went to West Point. I was like, "No, sir. I'm good. I don't need to go to military at all." I didn't like being told what to do. I am a horrible, horrible employee.
Same here.
That's why I became an entrepreneur.
That's right.
I was like, dude, I think I'll just go to work for myself. But tell me about that transition, man. Like you came back from college. At what point did you get married?
So my roommate Ricky.
You married him?
No.
Okay.
He told me about the valley, the Rio Grande Valley.
Okay.
Mexico, the girls, South Padre Island. So I was like, yeah, let's try it out. So I went to TSTC, Texas State Technical College. That's another story. I didn't last long there.
Okay.
same stuff, law,
rules and restrictions and
legal activities, stuff like
can't
that.
do, and yeah.
So I got evicted and they trespassed me. And I was at a party. Matter of fact, I had just took the ASFAB to go to MEPS to join the I don't
Army
remember which branch.
Yeah.
It was a branch. It might have been the Marines.
Yeah.
So I was ready. I was getting on a bus in 2 days, and I was at a party and I met this girl, and I guess we hit it off, and we got married 4 or 5 years later, and a lot happened in between all that. I just wasn't a good husband. I wasn't a very good person. I was about myself, and that's.
You're still struggling with the demons, man. Like you're trying to figure out how to not.
I don't think I'll ever stop, because I'm always trying to think about how I can make myself a little bit better. And even though I'm older now, my dad brought up to me the other day the way that when we were having a conversation, and I kind of blew him off a little bit because he was talking about something that I didn't understand, and he brought it to my attention, and made me feel bad.
Belittled, yeah.
Yeah. So we always have room for improvement, always. Yeah.
So you went through that with like you got into a marriage. You ended up 4 years out. You had a child.
No.
You had no children.
No kids.
Okay. No
just a bunch of different jobs, and
Okay.
I moved, I think, 17 times.
Job to job to job to job.
Yeah.
And
I did great. My dad always called me the 45-day guy, so I did great. I killed it for 45 days, but
sound like you should have just started working for them turnarounds, man.
I should have.
You'd have gotten along with the Boilermakers, man. Those
Yeah.
guys. I had a buddy of mine, Steve Clark. He said that he was a Boilermaker. Family was all in the union and everything.
Yep.
And he said, man, they work different. He said he had a guy one time on the Boilermaker job. They were doing a turnaround, and he was the boss's son. And he said he was like 18, and he was in there telling all these 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds what to do, and bad mouth and everything. He said his dad came into work one day, and he was hanging 200 feet in the air off of a beam with duct tape around his arms.
Oh my gosh.
They didn't kill him. They just hung him up there naked.
Goodness.
I say Boilermakers, you would have got along with them guys. Dude.
Oh my goodness.
They didn't take no crap. They were just like, hey, you gonna be a punk? We're gonna show you what a punk is.
Man,
So,
straight his butt out.
Yeah,
huh?
dude. He never cursed at him one more time after that. The job still went on for 6 more weeks. He said, dude, that guy didn't say a word to nobody.
Man.
So anyway, so you went through job after job after job.
Yeah.
And then you finally, you met your wife that you're with now.
Yep. On my way out of Harlingen.
Harlingen, Texas?
Harlingen.
Harlingen, what is that?
It's you know where Brownsville is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Down
Harlingen.
there, all the most southern tip of Texas, all the way down on the Mexican border. You
Okay.
know how Texas does like this.
Yeah.
Where's Brownsville, and then there's a couple of little towns, and then there's Harlingen.
Right.
About 15 miles from the Mexican border, roughly.
Okay.
So after I decided my time there was up, I think I lived down there for 9 years. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go try out Corpus Christi, Texas, and again, this whole time it's drugs, it's jail,
Partying,
it's everything,
Yeah.
everything mixed in a batch, and people got tired of I burned many bridges all through that time, and finally I packed up my dog and my Oscar, my fish. I put him in a garbage can, and I plugged the cigarette lighter into the filter to give him oxygen. So we drove down to Corpus, and
When you say we, you mean Oscar and
me
and
and
your dog.
my dog Dexter at the time,
And
old
Oscar,
Chihuahua
okay.
I had.
All right.
And so we hightailed it to Corpus, and I got this apartment, and I lived there for a little while until I got evicted because of the partying, and I had TVs and stuff out in the courtyard and stereos. He just got tired of me.
Yeah,
so I was
yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
you got to go.
He gots to go his time, huh?
But yeah, that and selling cars and working in the natural gas field, trying all these different jobs
So
out.
eventually you met your wife.
I met my wife at the end of the 3 years I lived in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
Met her in a bar.
Okay.
It was a local spot that we always went to Molly's. It was a karaoke bar. And I met her that night, and we had a kind of like a date a couple of days later, and we dated for a week or two, and I moved in with her and her 5-year-old son, 6-year-old, Lucas, and I was telling her, I said, look, I'm getting off of this probation thing. I still got 5 years left because I had this long probation. I was sleeping on somebody else's couch. You know, I was trying to give her everything that's going on. And
being genuine with her, being honest. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't want her to step into something that
That's
she didn't know
right.
what she was getting into.
That's right. And I told her, I said, look, I have plans. I've already, you know, decided I'm going back to Louisiana. I said, I'd like for you to go with me. We can go visit for Christmas. And that's what we did. And January we moved. I mean, she hated it for.
This was like 5 years ago? It was 10 years ago?
No, this was 11 years ago.
Okay, 11 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah. So 11 years ago, this was like 2000.
Oh, this was 2000. We met
13,
in 15.
14.
We met in 14. We moved here January 15.
Okay, so 2015, you move here. Okay.
Yeah.
And so she hates it, and she's like, I don't want to be here. I want to go
Yeah.
back home. Everything's better in Texas. I understand.
I mean, she wasn't used to the Louisiana lifestyle. She just had to get used to it. Now she calls home where we live. She calls it home, and she wants to be in the mountains somewhere. So do I, but home is home for now. And
Yeah, my wife's the same way. We go to Colorado every year. It's so funny. My daughter went to the Navy,
Yeah.
and she got out after 4 years,
Yeah.
and got like a disability for like hearing,
Okay.
and she's in San Diego, California, and she gets medically discharged, and she's like, okay, I'm going to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I get the college stuff from the military. So that's great. Where are you going to go? And she said, I think I'm going to go to Colorado. I was like, Colorado? Like what? You've never even been to Colorado. We go to Colorado 2 times a year, and you never go with us. You hate the cold weather. Like, why are you moving to Colorado like to go to school? And she's like, well, I researched that I want to be a social worker, and that's the best college in all of the United States for being a social worker is in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'd never been to Fort Collins. I'd always been to Denver, Vail, Aspen, all those areas, but I'd never been to that part. And I was like, look, we're going to go down there for a week. Just me, you, and my wife. So we're going to go down there for a week, and I need you to actually like live there for a week to see if you even like it. And we went down there for a week, and she was like, yeah, I think it's where I want to be. I was like,
Some folks can make decisions like that.
I was like, okay. I said, we'll go down here and let you try it for a year, in college, and then you see where you want to go.
Yeah.
The girl went and bought a house. Like I'm talking about, moved to Colorado, dude. Like she got a 2-bedroom condo,
all in.
like a townhouse, and so now we got a place in Colorado anytime we want to go, dude. Like
That's great.
she made me and her mom a room, dude. Like we can go in there and I got my toothbrush there. I got everything there. All I got to do is hop on a plane and get in there. So I love the mountains too, man. But
Yeah.
so you got married and somewhere along the line you had a beautiful baby girl.
Yep. We did November of 2015, just months after we moved to Louisiana. Yeah.
Okay, and what's
My
her
daughter Emery.
Emery? Yeah,
Yep. She'll be 10 next month.
yeah. I know she's got your heart, man. That's
Yeah.
that's your girl right there, man.
Yeah.
I've been around her. It's
Yeah.
I think you take her to school every day.
I get her on the bus or I take her to school, whichever
Yeah.
one she wants.
Yeah, she
kind of makes those decisions, and she's like a little Sheldon running around.
Yeah. Well, the question is like, at what point? Because I mean, you're not the party animal now.
No.
And since I've known you, you haven't been in jail. So I mean, like we're 6 months in. That's past 45 days. I'd say
right.
we're pretty good, man.
Yeah, because I have.
So at what point did you like settle down? When you got married, or
No, that was
when you had her?
Yeah.
When you had your daughter, that sort of like
Yeah, I mean it was.
wake up call for you.
Yeah, I mean I was still 32 years old, 33 years old. I was still every bit of
A party animal.
I wasn't used to, somebody taking over all my space. I got to share the bathroom and this and that, and 2 kids in the house, and it was boy Lucas, my stepson. He was pretty easy to deal with. I wouldn't say deal with in a negative way, but he was.
Okay, slow back. You had a stepson. So she had a son.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and how old was he?
At the time, he was 6.
When you had your daughter, how old was he?
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, 6.
So
7-ish.
he was established. Like in other words,
yeah.
he was the only child.
Yeah.
And so that had to be like a transition for him, man.
He embraced her with open arms. There was no jealousy or anything like
Okay,
that.
all right.
Those kids love each other.
So
They both grew up in a household,
with love and
Yep.
and then being
Yep.
parents that loved each other and
That's
didn't have
right.
So that I think that's probably the thing that like you went straight into this. I realize now in the story you were saying like she had a 6-year-old that she came in and got together with. It reminds me of that. You've seen the football story, the quarterback that it just came out where he
on Angel.
I think it's a quarterback. He's like Brett Favre or something like. It's like he's like a famous NFL quarterback. That I wish I had
talking about.
Tracy Kelly could probably tell me.
One of the guys that was on Top Gun.
Yeah, he was a famous guy, but
Glenn.
Yeah,
Glenn something.
He ended up was wanting to go professional, never ended up getting professional, and went through college, and ended up working like at a grocery store just to be able to try to survive. But he had a girl that he got together with that had a 6-year-old.
Kurt Warner?
So, Chuck Warner story.
Kurt Warner,
Kurt Warner.
Yeah,
you see how great of a football guy I am. But I'm saying that reminds me of that story. Like you find
and he becomes a Super Bowl champion.
He met her in a bar, and then ends up getting together and fall in love with the wife and the son, and it's
a good story.
Yeah, it reminds me of a lot of what you're talking about. Like you fell in love with two people. You didn't fall in love with just her.
That's right.
You fell in love with a 6-year-old boy and a mama.
And neither one of those kids would be able to tell the difference between you can take them in a closed room and ask them if any one of them has gotten anything extra than the other. It's always, when I grew up in a blended house. So I was familiar to that, and I knew how important that was.
Yeah, my daughter that I'm talking about that was in Colorado, she was adopted. She's Chinese, and we adopted her from China. But not to confuse people. But I have an Asian daughter. I heard
that in one of the podcasts I was listening to on the way over here. I was like, okay, I keep learning stuff about Joey here.
So it's funny, I'm the same way. She's my daughter. What I tell her all the time is like, hey, look, the rest of them were forced on me. I chose you. I picked you out. Like the rest of them, I just had no choice. Like it's just like, hey, here's your baby.
Yeah, this is what you get.
This is what you get. With you, I was like, nope, I'll take that one. So that's the same thing. You chose him, man. You picked him out. So that's awesome, dude. But so you got a family that sort of helped sell you down a little bit, put a tail to your kite.
I wouldn't say settle down.
But your kite was doing this, and you put a tail on it, and it's still up high, but it's sort of settling you down a little bit.
I wasn't I guess, I don't know the meanness, but I just had these flare-ups like these, with the yelling and the screaming and stuff like that. Things that I was still trying to find myself. I'm a much calmer person now because I've seen, how it affects everybody, and that's what been making me a better person over the years.
Yeah.
That's it for this episode of The Tenacious Entrepreneur. Thanks for tuning in and being part of this journey. Are you an entrepreneur with a tenacious story? We want to hear from you. Visit our website, tenaciousentrepreneur.com, and click on the Tell My Story link. If you got something valuable from today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur. Keep pushing forward, and remember, the end is only the beginning. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 7:14 a.m. Until then, remember to stay humble, stay focused, and be tenacious.